Hey guys, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to be fitting some new brakes to my Audi S3. Alright, so first things first, I've got the wheel off. I obviously have the car jacked up and supported safely with a jack stand as well in the front. The first thing that I'm going to do is take the bolts off the calipers. Or the caliper. So the bolt on the top there is a 13mm, same at the bottom of the caliper, and then there's this kind of nut that you might want to stop from spinning if it's causing you problems as well. Whole stupid thing's rotating, see? Alright, so that's a 17mm for that nut there. That is the caliper unbolted, and I've just got it resting up here for now. And I'm going to go and take the old brake pads off, as well as the caliper carrier. So these old brake pads aren't terrible. There's definitely still a bit of meat left in them, but they are getting to the point where they need to be done. But most importantly, I noticed on my car that the front rotors are pretty badly grooved. So I definitely felt that when I went drag racing, when I went on the brakes for that first time, slowing down from about 180 k's an hour, hitting the brakes, I definitely felt the front shaking really violently. So that was really the reason that I wanted to replace the front brakes in the start anyway. So, you know, while I'm doing that, it's probably a good idea to change the pads as well anyway. So that's why I'm doing that. And so this one has the pad wear sensor attached to it. Okay, so I kind of shattered the connector trying to unplug it, but basically inside inside the connector there's this tab that needs to be lifted, long story short, and then there you go. It's not meant to look like that, but it's off. That's the main thing. Okay, so next is to undo these two 21mm bolts that hold the caliper carrier on. So one there, and then the other one right up the top here as well. Whew. See, if you don't have an impact gun or a hoist, this is the next best thing. Your trolley jack handle. Whew. Cool, so that's one, that's the bottom one done. I'm going to do the same trick for the very top one. Yep, it's already working, I can feel it. Just making sure that it stays nice and square on the bolt head, because you don't want to strip or round the head off of these bolts. Okay. Woo! Okay, so now with the caliper loosened off and just resting up on top, and the caliper carrier also removed from here, now it's time to undo this T30, and then it's time to pull the rotor off. Now I'm hoping this rotor will just come off, but I don't know how old these rotors are. So I am not all that keen to go through this process. I'm sure this is going to be tricky. There we go, T30. So now I should be able to whack the rotor and have it come off. Super easy, right? There we go. There we go, just had to hit it harder. So now I can undo this bolt, which was kind of stopping it from falling out completely and falling on my face or my foot or falling on my light or whatever. So there we go. One rotor removed. I don't know if you can see on the camera. All these grooves the whole way around. Crazy. Alright, so here is the new rotor, brand new in the box. So for these ones, I've gone with the DBA T2s. So there's the part number there, in case anybody wants it. They're relatively easy to find everywhere on the interwebs. I've always used DBA on all my cars. I like the performance that you get for the price point. Obviously, they are generally on the cheaper end, but yeah, they've always given a nice little improvement in brake feel. So I'll go and grab this out, and we will clean it up. It's nice and shiny. Very good. And this is what I'm most excited about. This is probably the dumbest thing in the world, but just the fact that the outward facing portion of this rotor is now nice and black instead of this corroded copper color. And I know it's something that, you know, nobody's ever going to see or not see very often, but I'll know it's there. All right, so while that's sitting there, I'm going to go and clean up the hub. Okay, so now it's on with the new rotor. There we go, and just making sure to get this little T30 bolt hole lined up with the hub. Okay, so now that the new rotor is in place and I've got that T30 bolt secured, now it's time to put the caliper carrier back onto the back here with those two 21mm bolts. These big guys. Once that's on, then it's a matter of getting the new pads into the caliper, and the piston in the caliper might need to be pushed back in a little bit. So we'll get to that in a second, but first things first is the caliper carrier here. These bolts are really big, and the torque spec is like 200 Newton meters or something. It's crazy. So that's one in. Just going to gently move the caliper out of the way. I can get the top one in. Alright, that is our caliper carrier in. Time for the torque wrench. I don't like doing 200 Newton meters flat on my back. It's really hard to get that much torque. Oh my god. Hey! 200 Newton meters. It's using a full powerlifting bench press. Shoulders back, butt in the air. Oh man. Alright, let's try the top, see if we can do the same thing. There you go. That's how you do 200 Newton meters flat on your back. Alrighty, so these pads are very squishy to get in, but they are in. So these little clips on the end here really have to be compressed to fit in. So there we go, that is one side. And the other side will be the same with the exception of the sensor. Yeah, get in there. Alright, so there we go, we'll plug that new brake pad into the sensor. And then we will fit this to the caliper carrier around the back as well. Alright, so this is always my most hated but most loved part of any brake change, is winding the piston back into the caliper. The reason for that is this is the point where you can make a bit of a mess if you're not being careful. So obviously what I mean by that is the brake fluid in the reservoir. So what I'm going to do is wind the piston back slowly and keep an eye on the reservoir, making sure that the brake fluid isn't kind of going up and up and up and spilling over into the engine bay, down to the floor, all that sort of stuff. So this is a crazy caliper. I don't know if I've ever had a caliper this difficult to push back in any of my cars before this. And I've had some pretty dodgy cars. Still don't think that's enough. Okay, so that seems to be as far as I can push the piston in. Whew. There we go, let's try this. Hey, look at that, beautiful. Very cool. Awesome. So one thing that I did just want to check quickly is the brake fluid. Like I said earlier, the trick with this one is, oh yeah, just ignore this, my gas strut has broken, so I need to get a new one. So this is my new gas strut. Yeah, the brake fluid level, I can see it now, has increased fairly substantially as a result of winding that piston back in. So it's okay for now, but what I'm going to have to do is syringe some of it out when I do the other front side. So you can see there, that was right down, it was about halfway full in the reservoir. It was sort of somewhere about here to begin with. So the fact that it's now up at the top there, I'm going to have to drain some out before I do the passenger side. So that's okay. I sort of knew that was going to happen, but at least we can get this sorted. We can get that bolted back in. Maybe by the time I pump the brake pedal a few times and put a bit of pressure back on that piston and squeeze on those new brake pads, that fluid level will probably drop slightly as well anyway. Alrighty, so now it's a case of getting the two 13mm bolts into the back of the caliper that hold them onto the caliper carrier. And so remember, it's a 17mm spanner to hold that nut still while you're doing up the 13mm on the back. There you go, and then I'm pretty sure the torque spec for those bolts is about 30 Newton meters or so. I will double check. So yeah, it's 30 or 35 Newton meters depending on which resource you find. And there we go, guys. That is how to replace at least the front brakes on your Audi S3 8V. The other side is exactly the same. The only difference is the pad wear indicator will or will not be present depending on which side of the vehicle you're on. So yeah, look fairly straightforward. Definitely looks a lot nicer. There is a bedding in procedure, make sure you follow that. But as far as the physical hardware goes, that's it. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. So hard to look cool down here. Double chin, trying to sit up.